مواكبة لموضوع الابتكار الذي نعيشه في شهره فهو شهر فبراير الجاري. سنتعرف من خلال على فقرة مواطن الحلم والانجاز على شركة تعمل في هذا المجال، وهي شركة الاستثمار المخاطر، شركة المبادرات في الشرق الأوسط.
صحيح عبد الله. في اللقاء الذي أجرته الزميلة هالة بوعلوان لقاء مع السيد وليد منصور الرئيس التنفيذي والشريك المؤسس لشركة ميدل إيست فينتشر بارتنرز أو MEVP، تمحور الحوار حول التركيز الاستثماري للشركة في مناطق الشرق الأوسط واستكشاف تفاصيل المشهد الابتكاري في دبي وجهود الشركة كذلك في جذب المواهب.
نعم، كما تم إلقاء الضوء على وسائل التواصل المجدية والمبادرات التي يمكن للأفراد والشركات الاستفادة منها لاستكشاف فرص التعاون أو الاستثمار.
بيسعدنا أن يكون معنا اليوم الرئيس التنفيذي لشركة MEVP السيد وليد منصور. Good morning, Walid. Great to have you here.
Good morning. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Same here. Likewise. Walid, I have this curiosity. What led you into the entrepreneurship world? Was it passion? Were you an entrepreneur? Were you in a role to enable entrepreneurs and investors? What's the story?
Well, the story started here in Dubai, actually, around the year 2006, where I had spent many years in Europe studying and working, and I came to Dubai for job opportunities, working opportunities. And I had the pleasure to have the most amazing job I could ever had, which is working for the Prime Ministry office in Dubai.
Impressive.
And back then, Dubai was a very different town than it is today.
Which year was that?
That was around 2006, towards the end of it. And the energy in this town and energy in the country was on a different level.
Yeah.
The city was younger, many projects were not completed or about to start, and the policy of the leadership and on the country were starting to think about new dimensions.
Yeah.
The number one dimension that I was impressed with was the human dimension. Yes. Basically, how can Dubai become the platform city for the region? And the region is a big region. We're talking about the Arab world, the Indian continent, African continent. It's big. And the focus was on what can we do as a platform city or as a city towards entrepreneurs, entrepreneurship, education in general, but specifically entrepreneurship. And this is where I started my journey.
Which led you to co-found MEVP?
We co-founded MEVP, and it was the first venture capital company in the Middle East focused on the technology opportunity in this part of the world.
Which year you founded?
So MEVP was founded in the year 2010, and our first fund was live towards the end of the year. It was a tiny fund, but it was the first actually in the Middle East that had a proper venture capital structure. We call them GPLP structures.
Yeah.
And focused on the opportunity to invest early stage into technology and tech-enabled businesses.
Okay.
Today, venture capital in the Arab world is close to a $3 billion yearly industry. We started with $10 million and a very passionate founding team, and you know.
And when we say Middle East, where did you focus initially, or the locations you were there?
So initially, so it's a very good question, because I always ask myself, what is the Middle East, right? Because there is no geographic definition of the Middle East. But to be precise, we think the opportunity was always centered in the Arab world. And why? Because the Arab world, it's 22 countries, very diverse, very big in geography, in human capital, is an opportunity specifically for internet businesses.
Yeah.
We share the same language, we share the same cultural DNA, but we also crave for similar products, whether they are entertainment products in Arabic, e-commerce products. Many countries have similar online shopping behaviors. Many countries have had similar journeys into upgrading their internet infrastructure, their e-commerce infrastructure. Obviously, a country like Egypt is very different than a country of the UAE or Saudi Arabia, very different. But they share also that common sense. Moreover, what I found interesting is that we have two more assets that are real drivers for entrepreneurship. labor market.
Yes.
So labor force is from all over the region. I happen to be Lebanese, working in the UAE, but also there's many people from all over the region working in Dubai, flourishing here, and vice versa. So there is this labor integration that is fluid, especially with technology talent, engineers, marketeers, etc. And the second, there's also an investors community.
Yes, of course.
We are all, it may be a tiny community compared to other communities, but we're all excited into investing in other countries, whether it's Dubai or UAE or Saudi Arabia or Egypt.
And that's why you like design verticals per industry or industrial vertical per country. That's how you customize it?
It's about actually realizing that the opportunity in the Arab world for investing in technology in the Arab world is massive.
Yeah.
That's one. And two, it has the ingredients of success.
Yeah.
Capital flows, as we explained, labor and talent flows. Countries are upgrading their physical infrastructure, legal infrastructure. You know, the past 10, 15 years were amazing on that front. And consumers are there. So what's missing? Products and companies, right? And tech-enabled or technology products and companies in many areas. In fintech, in e-commerce, in streaming, in crypto and NFT and Web 3.0, in marketplaces, name it. There is not one industry that is not going online,
yes.
whether it's banking or retail goer, e-commerce, education, healthcare, real estate, name it.
Well, to what extent VC funding is declining and why? What's the comparative study between 1 to 2 years until now?
Well, Hela, when we started, VC was a $0 per year investment, and we did one of the first, if not the first, actually fund in the Middle East, which was a tiny $10 million fund. But I'll tell you about our own story. We managed today directly about $400 million in various funds, and we only do early stage and growth stage tech. But we've enabled and attracted about $1.6 billion in co-investments into our portfolio of 60 companies over 13 years. That's just us.
Yeah.
If you look at the industry, we're close to $3 billion of yearly investments into early stage, growth stage tech companies. So we went from 0 to close to 3 billion in 14, 15 years, right? That 3 billion number is tiny compared to the potential.
Yes.
Why? Because we are sitting in we're sitting in countries where the GDP is high, but the percentage of VC investment to GDP is tiny.
Yeah.
If you take that percentage and compare it to, let's say, India or the US or China, you realize that there is a big, I call it arbitrage. There's a massive opportunity.
Yeah. And Walid, you mentioned the diversity of your portfolio. If you can share with us some success stories, or one success story you'd like to share.
So there's many success stories. In the UAE, for instance, we've backed amazing businesses. One that I feel very proud of, and it's a company that became a global leader in its category, is a company called Fresha. We actually, two founders from New Zealand that actually lived in Dubai.
Of course, whenever we do an appointment with anything, it's on Fresha.
Well, it's a great...
We receive notification, you booked here, thank you, feedback.
Exactly. So it is one of the global players now. I think it's already number 2 globally or number 3.
Sure.
85,000 merchants, billions of dollars of bookings all over the world. It's a company that started here, became global. That's a great example that you can build solid software as a service companies, marketplace companies from the UAE to the world. It was a great story. And there are many examples like this in the UAE.
Walid, mentioning your portfolio and the diversity of the industries you enabled and empowered, if someone now watching us and wants to have this replicate success story, how they can communicate with you?
So my advice to all entrepreneurs wanting to build, invest, scale, recruit talent, recruit investors, take their story to the next level is to do it with intention and following certain steps.
Yes.
So applying to a VC doesn't work. This is not, we're not a bank. You're not applying for a loan and sending.
Yes.
You know, you have to build a relationship, put yourself out there, recruit the right people around you, the right team around you, the right advisors maybe that will introduce you. Second, there are a variety of programs in Dubai, in the region, that can support entrepreneurship, accelerators, incubators, a variety of networking events that you can look for and participate in. Warm introductions. Warm introductions actually work if you have somebody who's close to them and as a mentor, as an advisor, as an investor, angel investor, that can introduce you to a VC. This works. And also sometimes cold calling. We've had a lot of cold calling stories. Actually, one of my favorites is a very famous company in the UAE, is a company called The Luxury Closet. And it started 11 years ago when the founders cold called my partner over LinkedIn.
Yeah, exactly. Wishing you all the best with enabling more talents, attracting more ideas to the region here and everywhere globally. Mr. Walid Mansour, thank you so much for being with us today.
Shukran. Thank you.
Thank you.